Around the world, laws are created to protect society, but in some countries, punishments go far beyond what many would consider human, from brutal public executions to punishments for thoughts and beliefs. These laws reveal a darker side of justice. Today we uncover the 20 most brutal laws still enforced in our modern world. Singapore, judicial caning. Singapore enforces one of the strictest criminal codes in the world. Alongside prison sentences, corporal punishment is applied, the infamous cane strokes. It is imposed on men under 50 for crimes such as vandalism, armed assault, rape, illegal stay in the country, and especially for drug trafficking. Caning is carried out publicly inside prisons. The prisoner is tied to a wooden frame, and a specially trained officer delivers heavy blows with a bamboo cane. After just a few strikes, the skin tears open, leaving lifelong scars. To Saudi Arabia, death penalty for moral crimes. Saudi Arabia applies the death penalty not only for murder and terrorism, but also for so-called crimes against religion and morality, blasphemy, apostasy, witchcraft, and same-sex relations. Punishments are most often carried out by beheading with a sword in public, squares, or by hanging. The goal is deterrence, yet public executions spark global outrage and criticism. 3. Brunei, stoning. In 2019, Brunei introduced a Sharia penal code that includes death by stoning for adultery and same-sex relations. Although a moratorium was later announced, the law still remains in place. This sparked an international scandal and global boycotts of hotels owned by Brunei's Sultan, but the law was never repealed. 4. Iran, mass executions. Iran consistently ranks among the countries with the highest number of executions. Sentences are often carried out by hanging, sometimes in public. Harsh punishments are given for drug crimes, blasphemy, political dissent, and even participation in protests. Human rights groups report that in recent years the number of executions has only increased, including cases involving minors. 5. North Korea, labor camps and death penalty. In North Korea, even the smallest act of disrespect to the leader can lead to imprisonment or execution. Labor camps are notorious. Entire families, including children, are sent there as political prisoners. Inmates are forced to work in inhumane conditions, often without food or medical care. Documented cases describe public executions for watching foreign films or attempting to escape the country. 6. China, death penalty and state control. China carries out more executions each year than any other country. Crimes punishable by death include murder, corruption, drug trafficking, and undermining state security. Execution methods include lethal, injection and firing squads. Beyond this, China maintains one of the world's most extensive systems of digital surveillance, effectively criminalizing dissent and opposition. 7. Afghanistan, Taliban, women's restrictions. Since the Taliban's return to power in 2021, women in Afghanistan have been stripped of nearly all rights. They are banned from education beyond elementary school, barred from most jobs, and forbidden from traveling without a male guardian. Violations of these rules are punished by public beatings, arrests, or worse. Women must wear a full hijab or burqa in public at all times. 8. United States, the 3 strikes law. In some U.S. states, the 3 strikes law imposes a mandatory life sentence if someone commits 3 serious crimes. The problem is that the third offense can sometimes be a relatively minor crime, such as theft. As a result, thousands of people are serving life sentences for offenses that in many other countries would warrant just a few years in prison. 9. Indonesia, Aceh, public whippings. The province of Aceh in Indonesia is ruled under strict Sharia law. Moral offenses, such as drinking alcohol, gambling, extramarital relationships, or even being alone with someone of the opposite sex outside marriage, are punished by public flogging. Punishments take place in town squares before crowds, with convicts receiving dozens, sometimes hundreds, of lashes with a cane. 10. Malaysia and Indonesia, death penalty for drugs. Malaysia and Indonesia enforce some of the harshest anti-drug laws in the world. Possession of even small amounts of illegal substances can result in the death penalty. Tourists arriving in airports are greeted by warning signs that read, "Death for drug traffickers." Executions are typically carried out by hanging. 11. Pakistan. Blasphemy death penalty. Pakistan's blasphemy laws are among the most severe. A simple accusation of insulting Islam or the Prophet can lead to a death sentence. Even if courts hesitate to carry out executions, accused individuals often fall victim to mob violence and lynchings. 12. Thailand. Lèse majesté law. In Thailand, criticizing the king or the royal family can lead to up to 15 years in prison for each offense. In recent years, the law has been applied even to social media posts or simple reposts. It has become a powerful tool for silencing opposition. 13. Nigeria, Tanzania, and others. Witchcraft accusations. In parts of Africa, witchcraft is still treated as a criminal offense. People accused of causing harm through magic face punishments ranging from fines to the death penalty. Women and the elderly are particularly vulnerable to such accusations, which often end in brutal public violence. 14. Uganda. Death penalty for LGBT. In 2023, Uganda passed the Anti-Homosexuality Act, which introduced life imprisonment for same-sex relations, and in so-called aggravated cases, the death penalty. The law sparked international condemnation, but domestically it remains widely supported by politicians. 15. Saudi Arabia. Public beheadings. In the 21st century, Saudi Arabia continues to carry out public beheadings with a sword. These executions often take place in central squares of major cities, serving as both punishment and a public warning. The practice is heavily criticized worldwide but remains a core part of the country's justice system. 16. Sudan and Nigeria. Amputations for theft. In countries applying Sharia law, theft can be punished by amputation of the hand. Although performed in surgical settings, it remains one of the most brutal and permanently crippling punishments in the modern world. 17. Turkey. Insulting the president. Every year, thousands of people in Turkey face criminal charges under laws against insulting the president. Even jokes and internet memes can lead to prison sentences. Punishments range from fines to several years behind bars, making it a key tool of political repression. 18. Myanmar. Defamation laws. In Myanmar, journalists and activists are frequently sentenced to long prison terms for criticizing the government. Defamation laws are systematically used to censor the media and suppress dissent. 19. Iran. Ban on music and art. In Iran, many forms of art are banned. Dancing, Western music, films, and even certain books are labeled immoral. Artists and musicians face arrest, and their work is often destroyed. 20. Iran and Saudi Arabia. Women's dress codes. In both Iran and Saudi Arabia, women are legally required to wear the hijab, and in some cases a full body covering such as the burqa. Violations lead to fines, arrests, and sometimes corporal punishment. In Iran, dress code laws became the spark for massive nationwide protests in 2022. In the 21st century, when humanity has reached space, created artificial intelligence, and achieved unprecedented freedoms in many parts of the world, these laws remind us that oppression, cruelty, and fear still govern the lives of millions. Should justice protect people or terrify them? The choice belongs to humanity as a whole. If you believe the world must know about these laws, share this video, subscribe, and together we will keep exposing the truth.